welcome back to another episode of Are You Ready with Joanne Molinaro, where we talk about how to get ready to live a more purposeful and empowered life. So in addition to changing the name, we're also going to be changing the format of these episodes. As you may have noticed, we didn't do an Ask Joanne last week, and that's because I'll be answering those in their own episodes, like in today's episode. Last week, we talked with Amy Porterfield about the last straw and how, in her case, it propelled her to make a radical change in her career. This week on Ask Joanne, Jamie asks whether she can make that change before she even gets started. I'm in my first semester of law school, and I'm already thinking about quitting. All my life, I chose school over simply living, and right before going to law school, I finally found the people and things that make me feel happy to be alive. I'm so scared that law school and the legal profession are going to force me to give these things up because of the time I need to spend on homework and the image I have to keep. However, I know I have so much student debt to pay off that I need a good paying job. I guess I just want to know your thoughts on whether it's worth it to just go through with law school or not. Jamie. Well, Jamie, first of all, congratulations on getting into law school. Whether you want to be there or not, it's still an achievement, and you can be proud of the work you did to get accepted. I think it's a good idea to begin asking yourself, why have I always chosen school over simply living? To help with that question, I would first like to ask, what is it that motivates you? Is it that you want to please your parents? Is it financial security? Is it a more general existential insecurity? Do you simply prefer having a structured path? Oftentimes, when we elect to focus our attention on specific things like school in lieu of simply living, we are either 1, pursuing a very clear goal, or 2, soothing a chronic anxiety. Now, if it's the former, i.e. it's always been your goal to be a lawyer, then the advice I'm going to give is pretty straightforward. Sometimes we have to make sacrifices in pursuit of our goals. For instance, it is my goal to run a half marathon sometime in May. That means I spend about 5 to 10 hours a week running or at the gym, even though it doesn't make me happy and sometimes makes me want to die, like this morning. But as is the case when I was in law school, and even as a practicing attorney, I always found time to watch K-dramas, hang out with my cousins, and even go on trips to Hawaii. Remember, it's not about time management. Rather, it's about priority management. If you prioritize the people and things that make you as happy as you describe, you can build time into your calendar, even as a successful lawyer, for those things. But like anything else, it takes discipline. If, on the other hand, you're going to law school to soothe an anxiety, then you really have to ask yourself, is the goal you're trying to achieve a worthy one? For example, let's say I signed up for the May half marathon, not because I enjoy running or because I like the confidence that racing provides, but because I hate my body, and training for the next several months, i.e. the caloric burn, will soothe the anxiety associated with my body dysmorphic disorder. By running this half marathon, I'm actually reinforcing the source of my anxiety instead of tackling it head on. I'm basically giving in to the premise, yes, your body should cause you anxiety, and therefore let's do this thing that will help you cope with it for now, instead of confronting the lie. So, Jamie, ask yourself, what is the real reason you're in law school? Is it to pay off your school debt? While that is itself a worthy endeavor and may countenance working in law for at least a few years, the fear you allude to, scared that law school and the legal profession are going to force you to give these things up, suggests the existence of an underlying anxiety that won't go away even when the debt does. I'll end with a piece of advice I wish I'd told myself when I had just graduated from college. Think less about what soothes your fear and more about what brings you joy. And by that, I don't mean think only about what brings you joy, because if you live like that, you'll likely live in debt for the rest of your life, which will definitely not bring you joy. In choosing your career and in working your career, it's always important to ensure that we make time for those people and activities that make us smile, laugh, or just feel good. Whether you decide to stay in law school, pursue a legal career, or quit and join the circus, remember that joy deserves a seat at your table. I know. If only I had a crystal ball and could tell you what the future has in store for you. But here's the good news. It's not nearly as important what the world has in store for Jamie as what Jamie has in store for the world. Wishing you all the best. If you have a question on which you're seeking some objective advice, make sure to hit the link below and ask Joanne. Well, thanks everyone for joining me for another episode of Are You Ready with Joanne Molinaro. I hope you enjoyed this episode. I know it's a little bit shorter than what you might be used to, but I'm hazarding a guess that you may still be listening to last week's, and I wanted to give you just a little bit less to chew on this week. If you enjoyed this episode, do me a favor and hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. Make sure to share this episode with your friends, your family, your colleagues, your loved ones on social media, or anyone else you think might need to hear our conversation today. Otherwise, I hope you have a wonderful and beautiful day.